Hello YouTube makeup lovers, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to Be Lounge Makeup, I really hope that you guys stick around and subscribe for more videos. So I'm here today to share with you guys my favorite cream products for the face. I have been doing my makeup a lot lately with just cream products and I have really been in love with the look. It's a very natural, healthy, glowy, summery, bronzy look that I really love. So I'm going to show you guys my go-to look, exactly what I do step by step, but I'm also going to show you all the alternative cream products that I kind of like to alternate, just so you guys know which ones are the ones that I recommend, which ones are my favorite, and when I pretty much use them all. So it's just something that I've really been loving. I love it especially for the summer. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, and I just like how it looks nice and glowy and natural and just super healthy on your face. It's just something very different. It's something that I've just been really getting into, and I pretty much just wanted to share it all with you. So if you want to see how I do my full face of cream products and for my favorite makeup cream products, then we better get started with this video. Face is pretty much already set for makeup. I have already done my skincare routine, but I did want to share some of the things that I like to use right before I go in with a full face of just cream products. When I prep my skin, I do prefer to use a more mattifying type of toner, and the one that I like the most is the Fresh Umbrian Clay Purifying Toner. This one, I love the way it smells. You kind of just have to mix it really well because it does have clay, and this really helps, you know, the pores, and the fact that it's just mattifying. I always just feel that it helps a lot with the makeup when you use all creams. Also for moisturizer, I do try to use lighter moisturizers when I'm gonna go full on with cream. I don't use anything really heavy, especially of course usually like during the day. I try to go a little bit lighter. One of my favorites is the Origins Ginzing moisturizer. This one is really good. It feels really refreshing. It's like a nice little gel. And then I also like this Erborian one, the Glow Cream. This one I remember I got like for 15 bucks at L'Occitane at one of the outlets. Put on the sunscreen, so important. The one that I'm really loving right now is the Peter Thomas Roth Max Mineral Sunscreen. This has SPF 45. So this one I also like to use under the makeup. So now for the makeup. I have been using this primer lately, the No Pore-blem primer. This one is by Touch in Soul, and I got this, I believe I got this in one of my BoxyCharm boxes. So I just put a little bit. I always like to use a little bit of primer, you know, this type of soothing and smoothing primer in this like nose area, a little bit here, just kind of like in this, not all over. So after I prime my face, then I go in with foundation. If you notice, normally whenever I do a full-on makeup look, especially if I use powder eyeshadow, I tend to always do my eyes first because of the fallout. And when I do cream products, I do the reverse because really there is some powder product. There's one powder product that I do like to use on my eyes when I go all cream, but the chances of all this fallout is a lot less than if I were to do a full-on eyeshadow look with a ton of powder eyeshadow. So when I do a cream look, I usually do my face first and then I do my eyes. So now what I like to use is also, I don't know if I've said this, but I do have more drier skin. So I do like the more dewy type of foundations, and I personally just like the more dewy type, those healthy face makeup looks are pretty much what I gravitate towards. So now I just use one of my favorite foundations. So what I'm going to use today is the La Mer, the Soft Fluid Foundations, which is one of my favorites. And I feel like for a nice, beautiful, glowy, creamy look, that is just the perfect foundation. The Kogan Dough is also really good. And then also I'm using the Forever Skin Glow by Dior. If you want a drugstore alternative, my go-to is definitely the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. In this, I am in shade 203. And then another one that is also very light is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Light Wonder Youth Boosting Perfect Skin Foundation. So I do like to go in with one of these type of foundations just because I feel like it adds to the glow and how beautiful and healthy those cream products look. So today, like I said, I'm gonna do the La Mer. Also, sometimes if you want that extra glow, I do mix it in a little bit with the Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is from Charlotte Tilbury, and this just looks really beautiful with any foundation that you mix. A lot of the times when I use a Dior, I tend to make these two like a nice little match made in heaven. Today I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna go in with my La Mer, and I'm gonna apply it with my favorite brush to apply foundation, which is the Artis. This is the Oval 8. Apply it to the brush and apply my foundation. The Beauty Blender is also an amazing option to apply foundation. I just usually do the foundation with a brush, and then I do like to go in with the concealer. Then is when I use the Beauty Blender. Then of course I always go in with my trusted concealer routine, which is the Fresh Creme Ancienne Eye Cream, the Eve Pearl Salmon Concealer. I use the shade medium, and then my current go-to concealer, which is the Laura Mercier. This is the Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer, and I use shades 2C and 1N. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now that I'm all blended out, and I did use the lighter Laura Mercier concealer to highlight some areas of the face, once I blend out my concealer with the Beauty Blender, I do like to move it over the rest of my face just to make sure that my foundation is perfectly blended, that there's no brush strokes or anything like that. And now here is where I do go in with a powder just to set my under eye area. A lot of the times, you know, that is a part that I feel that creases the easiest for me. So I do like to use powder to set that if I were to find my powder. Oh, here it is. So I do use powder to set that. If you have a part of your face that you know just creases or gets oily very easily, then you could also do that as well. I'm gonna be using the La Mer. This is the La Mer powder. This is like my favorite powder. The Laura Mercier translucent powder is also like one of my favorites, so that's also a really good option. And then I try to go in with a brush. This is like a Morphe brush. You can also go in with a Beauty Blender, but I don't want to put powder on it yet, and I didn't bring any more out here, you know, just in case I needed to use a little bit more with my cream products. So I do use this Morphe brush. This is one of the older ones, the E49 from the older Elite collection. I'm sure they still have it. And I just pat it under the eyes. So I put some on the brush. I'll use the cover of the powder to like pat it, and then I just kind of like pat it in there. Sometimes I'll even pat, well, not sometimes, most of the time I'll even pat on the eyelid. And this is the part that I do use powder. This is like I think I use powder twice in my main routine, in my main cream routine, and this is like the one that I like the most. So this is pretty much the only area of my face where I do set it with powder, just because it's like the full-on concealer routine. I have very bad under eye circles, and I just like to make sure that that area is intact and that it's not gonna crease or it's not gonna, like, you know, fall off throughout the day. But if you have other areas, like if you want to put some on your chin, you can. On the sides of your nose, you can. This is when you would use the powder on your areas that you feel can, you know, maybe get a little bit more oily throughout the day. For me, it's just basically, it doesn't really get oily, but I want that concealer to stick all day, and I don't want it to rub off or anything like that. Next, I want to bronze up the skin and just add a little bit more of a, you know, more dimension, more bronzy. Right now I'm kind of just like all pale and one color, and there are a ton of products that you can use just for that purpose. The one I'm going to use is my go-to, and it is a Chanel. This is the Soleil Tan de Chanel. This one I love. I actually just got a brand new one, and this is what it looks like. This product has been around forever. It's amazing. It lasts forever. It smells great. So this is a really good one. I like to apply this. There are two brushes that I'm really loving for that. I have this Huda Beauty brush. This is the Sculpt and Shape brush. I just got this and I really like it because it has the two ends. So you can do this end for, you know, the face, and then this end if you want to add like some contour to the nose. And then I also really like the Hourglass. This is like the Vanish. I think it's for the Vanish foundation usually that it, you know, they came out together, and it's this brush from Hourglass and I love it just for that. So for today I'm just going to use the Huda Beauty one, and I pretty much just dip this inside this bronzer, and then I just apply it to the areas of the face where I want to just add a little bit of warmth, kind of like where you would normally contour, but this is just very, very, I don't know, it's a lot more natural than just adding a contour. I mean, I'm not trying to go for like a majorly chiseled look. I just want a nice glowy, bronzy, summer type look, natural. I have worn this to go out at night. I have worn this just to go to work, just to be like, I don't know, glowy, healthy. If you feel that you overdo it, you can always go back in with your foundation brush and just kind of like rub some off. But this I just like, and it just looks like so natural. So there I am already a little bit more like bronzy, and I just feel like I just added a little bit more color to my skin. Just looks a little bit healthier. I wanted to show you other products that you can also use for the same purpose. It doesn't have to be the Chanel one. From the drugstore, you have the NYX Wonder Stick. This one I like. This is more of a grayish type of brown. You know, I kind of use this one sometimes too, mainly like for contouring and things like that. But this one has both sides. It has a contour side and it has a highlighting side. So this is really good. I really like the formula. The Hoola one is also really good. The Quickie contour stick is one that I also like a lot. I also really like the Cover FX. This is the Custom Enhancer Drops, and this is in the shade Sunkissed. This is more like a, you know, it's more like of a tan color, and I just like it because it just gives you a nice, like, look how beautiful this color is. It just gives you like a nice little, you know, sun glow. It's not too dark. It's just like very, very nice and healthy. I just really like this one as well. Something also that is super important when you're applying cream products is that your hands are like the best tool to apply cream products, because it just comes out so nice and so natural. For now, pretty much for the foundation and the bronzing portion, I do like to use brushes, but now when I start getting into the blush and maybe the highlight, even some eye makeup, then I do use my fingers a lot. For blush, the ones that I'm favoring at the moment are these from the brand Nude Sticks. I like totally blanked on the brand and I had to like check it out. These are the Nudies in Bloom. I recently just got these, and these are two shades that I really, really like. This one is more of a pinky shade. This one is called Cherry Blossom Babe. So let me show you this one right here. That is Cherry Blossom Babe. And then I also have Sweet Peach Peony, which is this one right here. And it is obviously like a peachy color. So I have pretty much one of each, a pinky color, a peachy color, and this is what they look like. They actually have a brush on the other side, which I really don't use all that much. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the pinky color, and I pretty much just apply some, dot some on my cheek like this, to where you kind of look like a little clown, just like little circles. And then I like to just like blend it in with my, I kind of like just dab my two fingers like this. From the drugstore, the one that I used to love always, and I still have one right here, is the Dream Bouncy Blush. Oh my god, in this color, you can't even see the color anymore, the name of the color. I can't even see it, but it's this one right here. I still have it. This one's like old, but it's still like, it's not even like hardened or anything. It's just such a pretty color. Could it have been called Pale Pink? It was just so pretty. You can't really tell right there, but I used to like love this one. I still love this one. It's like the one that I usually put in my purse, but I can't remember the name. I know it's number 45. The 45 you can tell, but the name has already been like, you know, faded, so I can't really see what the actual name is, but it's number 45. Next, I like to do the eyes, and this is where I do put a second powder on my face, and it's pretty much just a crease color that I apply with just like any regular bronzer or any crease shade that you like. I try to go simple. A lot of the times, you know, whenever I do my powder bronzer, pretty much which is like one of my go-to looks is to use, you know, powder bronzer. I just apply some of my bronzer to my crease just really fast, no additional product, and I just kind of take this and just sweep it over my eye. So you can use like any of your favorite shadows, or you can just grab your bronzer, and that's what I like to pop in my crease. This I pretty much do almost every single day, whether I use cream or whether I use powder, and it's just like, you know, it's just so easy. You don't have to grab another eyeshadow. You just go in with whatever bronzer you are using that day. So this I do like to use, and it is another powder that I use on my face when I do my cream look. So pretty much I think this is going to be like the last of the powders that I use. So it's just the powder to set my concealer and just the powder to add that warmth to my crease. I could do it with you know, with a Chanel and just apply it that way, but I just do it with a powder. The brush that I'm using is this one from Morphe. This is a Morphe for Jaclyn Hill, and this is the JH32. Love this brush for that particular purpose. I just love it. So for my next favorite cream product that I'm gonna apply, I have these Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. These are the most beautiful cream eyeshadows. They're also super long lasting. They do not crease. I think that these are probably like my all-time favorite cream products. This and the Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks are also like, you know, right behind them. Those I actually really, really love. I feel that these crease on me a little bit more than the Charlotte Tilbury, which is why I say those are probably like my number one. And then I have the Caviar Sticks are my number two. So those are two really great options. I also used to always use the MAC Indian Wood Paint Pot. I would just use that a lot. Mainly though, I would use it as a base and then apply my powder eyeshadow on top. But that's another really good cream one. But it's not really one that I use when I go full on cream and I do not set it. The one that I use the most are either the Laura Mercier or the Charlotte Tilbury. Out of the Charlotte Tilbury, my favorite color is the Marie Antoinette, but I am going to show you the four that I have. I actually just bought two more that I found at Nordstrom. They're like Nordstrom exclusive shades. I think one is like a rose gold shade, one is a gold shade. I've just bought them online. I haven't got them, but these four shades I have. This is Marie Antoinette, so this is what the Marie Antoinette shade looks like, and that is just like a shade. For me, that shade is just like perfection. I love it so much. Then I also have the shade Betty. This is another one of my favorites. This is probably my second favorite shade. They're similar. This one is a little bit more golden-y type, and this one, I don't know, they're just so pretty. Oh no, this one definitely Marie Antoinette is my favorite. It's a little bit more like a taupish bronze. This is more of a golden-y type bronze, so that one is Betty. Then we go towards Mona Lisa. I think Mona Lisa is probably my least favorite shade just because it's a little bit darker, but it's still like such a beautiful shade. But it's just, I don't know, it's just a lot darker than the other ones. It brightens the eye a little bit less than these two, but it's still very, very beautiful. It just depends on exactly what you like. That's probably the one that I use the least. And then we have Norma Jean, which is the lightest shade in the bunch. Also beautiful. It's also one that I like to use a lot, and it's just, this one's just really, really easy to apply. It's a lot more, I don't know, it's more like a beige-ish type of goldish color. I don't know, these two are just fabulous. Those are my two favorites. So if you were gonna pick one, I would say, you know, go with the Marie Antoinette and the Betty. One of those two. These are just so beautiful. So today I'm gonna go with my all-time favorite, which is the Marie Antoinette, just so you see the one that I use more as my go-to look. So the way I like to apply it, I also like to use these Sigma Precision Tapered brushes. This is the P86, and it's very like, it's like a tapered pointy type of brush, and this is what I dip into the color. And I pretty much first apply it to my lid, just to apply it, and then I blend it out with my finger. If you have oily lids, I don't really have very oily lids, but if you do, you should also probably use like an eyeshadow primer. My favorite one is the NARS one, but I really never do it, since I do apply a little bit of concealer and I blend it in, and I even set that concealer over my eyes. That kind of already works for me and just, you know, keeps it set all day. You can even add some on the lower lash line. I don't, because I'm going to go ahead and add some eyeliner, my go-to eyeliner, but I do like to add some of this sometimes under, you know, under the lash line. You want extra, you know, extra pop of color under there. I'm also going to add a pop of color, but I like to do it with something else. I also just go back in with the same brush that I applied the bronzer with on my crease, and just kind of like blend that in there in case there's a harsh edge that you can't really see, but it just, you know, makes sure that that little, you know, where the cream product, where you apply the cream product and where you have the powder product, it all just like is flawless, and just, you know, just kind of one goes into the other with no like harsh line or anything like that. So for the lower lash line, I like to use my NYX eyeliner in my go-to shade, which is Gilded Gold. No, I'm sorry, it's Glitzy Gold. And this is like my favorite eyeliner. I go through so many of these, and I just add this on the lower lash line. Oh, I also wanted to show you also really great lid colors are these Stila. You have the glitter and glow, and you have the shimmer and glow ones. Those are also kind of like, I kind of consider them a cream product. They dry really, really fast. I mean, good fast, like fast enough you have time to like, you know, make sure that it's perfect. You know, you need to blend it a little bit, you have time to do that. But these are pretty much like cream products, and these stay put. I really, really like them. And I really like the glitter ones and the shimmer ones. Sometimes I'll use the glitter ones in the little inner corner or something like that, just to add a little bit of extra pop. So we can do that today, just so you guys can see what I mean. But I'll just add like a little bit, maybe like in the lower part, you know, pretty much. A lot of the times I'll use my MAC Nylon in the inner corner. I'll even do that when I use cream products or even powder products. But today we'll just try to stick with the cream for that inner pop of color. So now for the eyes, I'm just gonna go ahead and add some liquid eyeliner and some mascara, and I'll be right back and we'll go ahead and do the highlighter on the face. Okay, so I am back, and I already added, let me show you guys the products that I added. For eyeliner, I used my Tom Ford eyeliner. This is the one that has the two sides. This is the eye defining pen. For mascara, I used my Benefit Roller Lash, and I did pop in some of this Stila. This is the Glitter and Glow in the shade Wanderlust. I did add a little bit of that one right there in just like the inner corner, mainly on the bottom, but I also did a little bit of a tad on the top part. So I did do that because that adds a little bit more also of a nice little glow to the eyes, a little bit of sparkle, so that I liked. So now let's go in to sparkle the face. Let's add some highlight. And I also wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite highlights from the brand Cover FX. I also like the ones that come like this, just like I showed you guys the bronzer. They also have beautiful highlight shades. The one that I use the most is Sunlight. This is the one that I pretty much, if I were to grab one of these, it's probably the one that I grab. And then I just recently got these glitter drops. I think I got these in a BoxyCharm. These I actually have never used, but I've heard that these are great, like glitter drops. It doesn't say if it has a shade name. It just, whatever, these are the glitter drops. So these I haven't really used, but it's also like, I've swatched it and it's like amazing. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell, but this one is beautiful. This one is the Sunlight. It's like a beautiful, beautiful highlight to the skin. Look at that. It's like, that's like that beaming, that sun, that highlight like beams. It's like one of those that people say that beams, like if you were like from outer space, you can see your highlight. That is one of those. If you like it to be a little bit more subtle, I also use these from Benefit. The high beam is very subtle, and then the shy beam is even more subtle. It's more like a matte type of highlight. It just mainly like brightens, but if you want to go subtle, I recommend the high beam. And then the other ones that are also really good are these from Milk. I actually bought the smaller size. There's one called Lit, and then there's another one that I actually just got at Sephora. Where is it? Is it here? I got two of the smaller size. I know one is Lit, and I think one is maybe called Turnt. Could that be it? But these are also really good, and you don't need the full size. I mean, if you want to test others out, you can always just use one of these cream ones, the smaller, you know, the smaller travel type size, so that you can maybe test more than one out. And then I also have that Benefit one. This one's also a pretty good one. The Benefit What's Up, it's really good. That one I like. That one's actually kind of old. I don't know if I should get rid of that one. But the one that I'm going to use today is the one that is my current go-to favorite, and that is the iconic London Illuminator. This one I actually bought at the Morphe store, and the way I like to apply these again is also with the beauty blender, or you can also do it with your fingers. But how I like to do it, let me just make sure that I have everything off my hands from all the swatching I've done. But what I like to do is I like to apply, you know, I drop, this is the regular color, this is like the original shade, I believe. I put some on my hand like this, so I have like a drop right there. Let me put a little bit more so that you guys just can like see it. So I have the drop on there, and a lot of the times I'll just get my finger, like I'll even get like 2 fingers, and I'll just like pat it right here with my finger, little by little. You can even put some in the center of the nose, some in your forehead, on top of your top lip, and even on the chin. And then you take your damp beauty blender and you just like blend it out. I used to like just pat it on here and then just go straight to the face, but sometimes I would just kind of like overdo it a little bit, and I rather just add little by little and just keep on topping it with more and more if I want to add more, than if I have to add more and then take out. So, you know, if you have like a lot of, I don't know, texture on your skin, or if you have blemishes, you know, if you have blemishes on your forehead, or if you have, I don't know, don't add highlight, because the highlight is going to make everything just like go, you know, it's going to be more obvious. Like if I have a breakout around here or something, then I probably won't use that much highlight, or on my forehead, because it just kind of accentuates everything. And then I mean, I had a little bit of a breakout on my forehead not too long ago. I don't know why I got it. If it's maybe a product that I was using, and then when I would apply highlighter on the forehead, it's like that was like boom, you can see all the little bumps that I had. It kind of went away. I honestly think it was more of like a rash type of thing, because I don't really break out. But yeah, just something to watch. If you have, you know, use highlight wherever you want and whenever you want. But if it's something that would bug you, if it would like really, you know, show, then I personally don't do it. If I have a lot of something that I want to hide, I won't put highlight on top. But you can already see the glow on both sides. And this is the one that I'm currently using a lot. This I won't do during the day. During the day, I might use the high beam one a lot, or even the other one, the shy beam. Even the stick ones are a lot more subtle than this one, like the What's Up or the Milk sticks that I just mentioned. By the way, Milk also has a really nice bronzer one, the matte bronzer. I also have in the small side. That one's also really good to use for your bronzy type of thing. So the face is already pretty much done, and I've shared with you guys my favorite cream products to use. And now you can just go ahead and add like your favorite lipstick. I usually, of course, I love the nudes. I like to go really glossy with this look, or either I go glossy with the nudes, or I like to go really colorful because it's the summer with maybe a liquid lipstick. My two go-to ones that I'm using right now are these two from Fenty Beauty. These are the liquid lipsticks, and I have the coral color called Unattached, And I also have the fuchsia color, which is called Unlocked, is it what it's called? It's very small and I can't see it very well. But these I have really been loving. And I think that it just like screams out summer, especially the peachy one. A lot of the times, I do tend to like to match my cheeks with my lips. So since I use the pink, you know, on my cheeks of the nude sticks, then I think I'm gonna go with the pink one, but I kind of also want to show you the peach one so you kind of see like both colors. So maybe I'll show you guys both. The other day when I used the sweet peach peony on my cheeks, I used this one and I just like loved it. So let's start with that one so you kind of see what it looks like. So there you have the more peachy color. And there is the fuchsia color. Here they are side by side. So you kind of have an idea of what they would look like side by side. So this is the fuchsia one. That was pretty much it. That was my full-on favorite look for using Creme products and a bunch of my favorite products. Something else that I also wanted to mention is that a lot of the times I like to do both. If I really want to go all out and I really want to do like the cream and then I like to set it all with powder for like a flawless look for the evening that's just not going to budge, that's also a really great idea. Like you pretty much just every time you do the cream product, you kind of set it with that same product on your face. So like for example, how I did the cream bronzer, a lot of the times if I want to go all out, I'll also set it with a powder bronzer on top. The highlight, same thing. I'll apply the cream highlight and over that I'll apply the powder highlight. For the eyes, for example, with this Marie Antoinette Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize cream one, I love to use the Kim Kardashian. This color right here is the one that matches perfectly with that look. I'll just take my finger and to just make the color pop even more, I'll even add a little bit more of the powder eyeshadow over it and it just makes it pop even more. So that's also another alternative and it's something that I also love to do. But just lately, to keep things simple, I've been loving just the full-on cream look. But I also wanted to mention that because that also looks really, really beautiful when you you know, add that extra pop with the powder. And again, like lately, the times that I have just been patting eyeshadow with my fingers on my eyelid, I just do it so much more every single day. It just feels like makeup just got a little bit more easy, a little bit more simplified, and just a little bit more carefree. And I just have been really liking this right now, especially in the summer. So as always, I'll make sure to link all the products that I mentioned in the description box down below. I'll make sure to list everything that I used and everything else that I mentioned, like the other alternatives. So I really hope that you guys had a lot of fun watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you go. And as always, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching Be Lounge Makeup, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.